With more than 5 decades worth of world-leading marine biology and scientific analysis happening right here in Orkney, the Marine Environmental Unit are now focused on reintroducing the native oyster after more than 100 years out of the waters here on the north coast of Scotland. With no significant impacts from port operations, this long-term monitoring has provided a wonderful opportunity to observe natural fluctuations in intertidal animals and plants, and more recently, potential impacts of climate change.
The natural world does not stand still.
Joining us here in a sunny Cumbria is Sophie Throop from the Mahon Food Group at Morrison's to talk a little bit about how sustainability and farming work hand in hand with Morrison's to help us get food from farm to table. Sophie, tell me a little bit about how important it is to work with locally produced produce and local farmers.
It's really important. We know we want to buy food from farmers we know and trust.
Working with Sophie to support farmers get their produce in store and develop their businesses is sourcing manager Isla Rock.
We have a really talented group of livestock buyers who have between them over 180 years of livestock procurement. So that means that we have a group of livestock buyers that really understand the challenges.
This immense £30 million site is nestled on the hills between Ayr and Stranraer, and it comprises 8 turbines, with 3 completed right now, and it's hoping to be operational by early 2024. Keeping the Kirkhill Wind Farm project in Scotland on track is the priority of project manager Jamie Adam.
When you get the right weather, you can put them up in a few days. So it's the prep work that takes a little while.
More than 500,000 people call Edinburgh home. The Scottish capital has one of the highest average incomes of any city in the UK. But even here, the rising cost of living is leaving its residents worried about the winter ahead.
Wages aren't going up and people are going on strike.
When about a third of students have less than £50 a month to spend as disposable income.
I think people kind of develop an attitude of apathy because it's the only way that they can cope. So there's a lot of despondency and hopelessness.
As the cost of living continues to rise in the UK, everything from transport to food and drink has risen, and so many people are struggling to make ends meet. That's why organisations like Mental Health UK are doing all they can to help. But they say demand for their services has risen by more than double in the last 6 months. Artemis Technologies has also expanded to North America, a market with more than 900 ferries in operation. The North American side of Artemis is spearheaded by fellow co-founder David Tyler.
New York is really an example of how the city has tried to rethink the way they use their waterways.
Yorkshire-based mother of one Marie was born with spondyloepimetaphyseal dysplasia, a rare condition that restricts her muscle and bone growth. Her condition caused mobility issues, and she was living with such significant joint pain that she feared she'd be wheelchair reliant for life.
My next step was going to be going in a wheelchair anyway. I had all my house, my bungalow, made wheelchair friendly for the future because I like to plan ahead, because you never know how fast these things are going to turn.
Marie has overcome health challenge after health challenge throughout her life and has had multiple operations. The cloud-based software can save individual teachers up to 50 hours of work when it comes to monitoring and analysing attendance. Supporting on the Data Connector project with Falkirk is one of Community Brand's technical project managers, Sarah Paul.
The first step would be to speak to the local authority, find out exactly what data they wanted to collect.
Carbon capture storage expert Professor Stuart Hazeldine is also a geotechnical advisor based right here in Edinburgh, and he believes that businesses like Store Electric and academia can work together to help save our planet before it's too late.
The proposition in 2024 is that for each household we're costing about £40 a year in wasted energy. In about 2 or 3 years' time, that will be about £120 a household in wasted energy.
Today, BT continues to support policing and public contact and are driving new innovations, from the use of AI to improve citizen experience to connecting pilotless drones that stream live footage to officers for real-time analysis, allowing them to make decisions in minutes rather than hours.
Drones is critical in policing. It helps accelerate the examination of a crime scene.
Tested and created with the input of world-leading radiologists, Annalise Enterprise is a comprehensive artificial intelligence software that analyses chest x-rays for over 100 findings within seconds of being taken, and is an assistive tool for clinicians. NHS Grampian has been at the forefront of groundbreaking research in the medical science space over the last 6 years, and the Innovation Hub has partnered with Annalise AI. Now that relationship has been welcomed by both doctors, nurses and radiographers right here in Aberdeen. Lorna has become a champion and spokesperson for women's health at NatWest Group, and now runs drop-in cafes and holds talks to support the thousands of women she works alongside going through the menopause.
And I think that's the word, to normalise it, because every single woman, biological woman in the world will go through this at one stage in their life or another. You know, it might be young like myself or even younger.